individual variability in regards to carbohydrates. So pretty large macronutrient. If we just start with the digestion process of that, throwing it all the way back, module 2, I believe I have this pulled up. Here, this beautiful picture of our digestive system. Following the purple for our carbohydrates just into the mouth, we have salivary amylase. Following the tract, we go down to pancreatic amylase, and then it can be absorbed through our small intestine here. And just here alone, we could have variability between individuals of the amount of amylase that is secreted, and perhaps that could change the rate of digestion. That's interesting. If we follow, then once we absorb, we can go into our metabolism here, and we see carbohydrates can be broken down into glucose, further broken down into pyruvate, further broken down into acetyl-CoA, and that will give us energy. And I think that's a good talking point, right? So if we're eating carbohydrates for energy, then a person's energy expenditure is going to vary, and that means I need different amounts of carbohydrates. So my guideline, which is written as a percentage, 45 to 65% of carbohydrates within my diet, is going to vary a lot. A football player, professional football player versus me, a swimmer versus a ballerina, like that's going to vary your energy demands. And then we also have energy produced, we also have storage, so glycogen stores. Now we can kind of bring up GLUT4, type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics, either the lack of insulin to help act on GLUT4 receptors of the cell to uptake glucose and store it as glycogen, or perhaps the desensitized GLUT4 receptors, again, inhibiting the uptake of glucose. So we see even there can be genetic type 1 variabilities, there can be diet variabilities. So if I'm eating carbohydrates that are mostly composed from sugars versus if I'm having them from processed sugars, processed foods like breads and baked goods and things like that are also accompanied with fats, or if I'm having whole foods, my fruits and vegetables and things like that to supply my carbs, we're going to see differences, different effects on my body. And so the variability, I chose a large nutrient being carbohydrates. There's so much variability that can occur.